So apparently we've entered English summer already, and it's only getting hotter. So I think we gotta get our workout in now. I'm gonna go do a calisthenics workout in the backyard. Let's train on the rings. All right, so before we get started, let's talk about how to actually set up rings. So it's really not that complicated. The most important thing you want to think about is that all of the straps are straight and they're not twisted at all before we get them set up on the bar. You want them unkinked and pretty much flat out like this before we go over to our nice straight horizontal bar and get them set up. So once you've got them untangled and flat like this, let's go to the bar. Okay, let's start with one ring at a time. So we have one end with a little metal bit and one with none. So obviously this is gonna go through that. And the way that we get this over the bar is we kind of just toss it over. Make sure you back up so the swing doesn't get you. Now you have the strap hung over the bar. You have one end on each side. Most important step here, just make sure that this line is completely untwisted. You don't want any twists, otherwise it's gonna make your actual rings spin around. I mean, it's very inconvenient. So just make sure that it's straightened out before you connect these two. And now, super simple, most of these metal pieces have a little visual that tells you where to feed the other line through. And it's gonna go under a little metal strap, and it's just gonna slide right through. You need to press the little metal lever in order for the teeth to lift so that you can slide the strap through. And once you get the black strap through, just pull it through until you're happy with the height of your ring. Most straps come with a tiny little Velcro that you can kind of just strap back this excess strap, but usually I honestly just pull it to the side because I'm kind of lazy, so I'll just make sure that my ring doesn't have the cord near it, and I'll take this and I'll just pull it to the side. So that's one ring. Now we just repeat with the other side. Now, an important consideration that we haven't talked about yet is obviously the height of the rings. And this is just going to depend on the exercise that you're doing. You pretty much can adjust the rings suited to your exercise. This might be super high. For example, if you're doing pull-ups, it might be in the middle if you're doing Australian rows, or it might be at the bottom if you're doing push-ups. Just make sure that your rings are pretty even. Otherwise, you're going to obviously be a bit unbalanced. Okay, now I'm gonna go through a few calisthenics ring exercises that we can use to get you started. So we'll have beginner and also intermediate. We're not gonna do anything too advanced because let's be real, it's not like I'm planching out here. Let's start off with exercise number 1, which is gonna be our Australian row, which is a classic exercise. The Aussie row is gonna be a back exercise focused on horizontal pulling strength. So you think about your horizontal pulling strength, your horizontal pushing strength, and your vertical, aka up and down, pushing and pulling strength. For our Australian row, we're gonna do horizontal pulling now, and then we'll do horizontal pushing. You can start by adjusting the bar up to about chest height. If you're a beginner, this is going to make it easier because your body will be a little bit farther away from the ground. The closer our body is to the ground, the more strenuous the exercise is. But I'm starting with it around hip height, obviously. Lower if you want it to be harder. Raise it if you want it to be easier. You might notice that this strap is kind of just doing whatever it wants, and I'm just gonna let it because I really don't care unless it's in my way. A few key pointers for this exercise. Try to keep your feet under the bar if you can. If that's of course too hard, walk your feet a little bit away from the bar. As you pull the rings, try not to keep them out wide, but try to tuck your elbows in close to your body. Now if you notice that your feet keep on sliding on the grass, which happens, grass is slippery. Usually I wear sneakers, which means that the bottoms of my feet are slippery too. I just put a slight bend in my knee, and then I'm able to keep my flat foot against the ground, helps keep me from slipping. I just try to make sure I go really low because this does make the exercise a little bit easier. Now that we've done a horizontal pulling movement, let's do the horizontal pushing movement, which is of course going to be our push-ups. Now, if you're a beginner, what we're going to do is we're going to elevate our hands to make it easier on these rings. Now, if you're advanced, you have two options. If floor push-ups are a bit too easy, what you can do is you can elevate your feet on the rings, or what I like to do is I like to use the rings in order to do the push-ups. It adds a stabilizing component, and I also elevate my feet so that I can go as deep as I can. I always want to be training a deep range in motion to develop strength throughout all of the ranges that I possibly can. That's mobility. So that's one way that we do it. We start to make our range greater and greater over time. So that's what we're going to be doing here by elevating our feet. Let me show you. Okay, so starting with these push-ups being inclined like this is gonna be our easier progression. One thing to keep in mind is we don't want our elbows to flare out wide. We wanna tuck them in close to our body like this. And this is gonna be the most comparable to a incline push-up if you were to elevate your hands on a bench, but this is actually a little bit harder because now we have to use all of our stabilizing muscles because the rings add an extra level of instability. I recommend trying to keep the movement slow and controlled, and obviously if that's a bit easy, just lower the rings. And again, for the hard progression, we're just gonna elevate our feet on the rings, or we're gonna elevate our feet on a box, use the rings for our hands, and then we can work on a full range in motion. For that one, just make sure that you're keeping it really, really slow here. This is surprisingly intense if you're going straight into this from floor push-ups, or even if you have trained this exercise but used parallettes, because the extra stability aspect does increase a lot of challenge. So just make sure you keep it slow and you're properly warmed up before getting into this one. Okay, this next one's gonna be a good one for people who are more in the intermediate category. If you can already do a pull-up, I guess this is kind of like intermediate to advanced depending on where you're starting. But if you can do a pull-up and you can do leg lifts, you can go ahead and attempt this one. It's gonna be the L-sit pull-up. So basically hanging with your legs in the L position like you would at the top of the leg raise, or if you were in a hanging L-sit, we're basically just gonna do a pull-up or a chin-up depending on your strength. Chin-ups are a little bit easier, a little bit more bicep focused, and pull-ups are a little bit more back focused, but both are gonna train really similar muscles. We are adjusting the rings to about head height. We basically just want to be able to hang so that our butt isn't touching the floor. I could have them a little bit lower. If you have a longer torso, you're probably going to need them a little bit higher. And these are nice because if you don't have a super high horizontal bar, maybe you're at a park and you're at a child's playground and the bar isn't super duper high, then you might not be able to do pull-ups if you're a bit taller. I'm short, so that's not usually an issue for me, but this is a little bit of a hack to get around that, where basically we're going to hang in the L-sit position. Make sure that the straps are about shoulder width apart. A little bit wider is good. Start by hanging in an L-sit. If you can't do that and that's too challenging, then you can tuck your feet in. If your palms are facing towards you, that's gonna be chin up. If they're facing away from you, they're gonna be pull up. If you're at this stage, you probably already know that. We're just gonna pull our chin over the bar. So I just did the chin up variation. If you're gonna do the pull up variation, make sure that you slide your straps a little bit farther apart so that you can actually get into that nice pull up grip. Okay, I swear I haven't been holding out on you, but this has gotta be my favorite of the ones that we're doing. It is more of an intermediate skill, so I'm gonna show you a few of the ways that you can get up to this one with a little bit of easy steps, but exercise number 4 is gonna be our skin the cat. Now, the skin the cat exercise is amazing for your shoulder mobility and also training your core. If you already can do toes to bars, this is gonna be a great way to combine that with the German hang exercise, which is a shoulder mobility stretch. The reason that I like doing this on rings is because if you have short arms like me, you can't exactly do the skin the cat with just a bar because I literally can't get my body through my arms. So the rings are super duper helpful in this exercise because they remove the bar blockage. Okay, let's go through form here. So you want the bars to be pretty high. It's gonna be very similar to the last exercise. All you have to do is have your butt off the ground. So just the ring as high or as low as you like, as long as your butt is not touching the ground, it's fine. Now, obviously, if you wanna be able to do the full toes to bar into German hang, your feet are gonna have to hang off the ground. But of course, if you're just getting started, it can be really useful to start with the rings a little bit lower before we start raising them. For the actual exercise, I'm gonna start with my feet extended in front of me. I'm gonna crunch my core to pull my legs up through the space behind my head. I'm gonna spin around. I'm not gonna let my feet touch the floor. I'm gonna go down as low as I possibly can, and I'm gonna spin back around. Now, if you're just a beginner and you're just trying to figure out how to get this exercise started, one thing you can do is just practice kicking with your feet a little bit to kick yourself over the bar. Get used to that motion where you're holding onto the bar still, but you're just practice kicking through the loop, getting your feet on the floor on the other side. So that can look like this. So just practice kicking your feet up through the loop, really kick off the floor to use that momentum, and then when you land on the other side, let go and come out. Now, that's obviously only one motion, but just getting familiar with one pathway before you get familiar with the other pathway can be helpful. For beginners, lower the rings a little bit before you go ahead and do this exercise. Obviously, the closer you are to the ground, the more comfortable it often feels. Now, if you're kicking up and you just can't seem to get your butt over the bar and you spin around, you just can't quite get over and keep going, try to think less about kicking with your feet and try to think about sending your hips, just like curling your abs, sending your hips through the space, because we want to kind of lead with our hips. We want to get most of our weight through the space, and that's going to help us actually be able to get over the other side. So instead of this, do this. Now, obviously, if you're a bit more advanced, the full motion is going to be starting with your feet fully hanging. Do the toes to bar exercise, lifting your feet all the way up, crunching with your abs to get there, and then pulling yourself through all the way down so your legs are fully extended in the German hang position before pulling yourself back through. This is as high as I can get my rings, so just bear with me and pretend my feet are actually hanging off the floor, please. And of course, if we really want to break down this exercise into 2 movements, you can always practice the back end, which is going to be your German hang stretch, and you can practice your toes to bars or your leg lifts. Of course, if you're starting your hanging, you do your leg lifts. Once you've progressed on from leg lifts, do toes to bars. And if you're struggling to come back from the German hang position and spin back around to the other side, one thing you can do is, instead of keeping your legs extended, tuck them into a tiny little ball, and that's going to make the exercise a little bit easier. Build up strength with that before extending your legs. So now we've done our horizontal pulling movement, the Australian rows, the horizontal pushing movement, the push-ups, the vertical pulling movement, which was of course our chin-ups or our L-sit chin-ups, which is the one that I showed you guys, and our fun core exercise, which was skin the cat. Now we're going to go through the last one, which of course is going to be our dip variations. Now, of course, you can do normal dips with these, or you can keep your feet on the floor in order to stabilize for the dip exercise. Now, ring-assisted dips are much harder, so you want to make sure that you're keeping your feet under you. Send your elbows backwards. Make sure you're not opening up and arching your chest. You want to pull and push everything down, so pulling your shoulder blades together as you send your elbows backwards. And just keep the movement slow. Eventually, you can use less weight on the ground, and you can progress into ring dips. For these, of course, we're going to want the rings to be a bit higher so our feet are off the ground. Now, I know that those were 5 very simple exercises, but they're really the essentials that we want to continue to do over and over and over again as the fundamentals in our calisthenics training. Training these exercises, developing just simply body weight strength is going to unlock so many calisthenics skills. Honestly, that's how I got so many. I didn't even do specific skill training for tons of skills because I unlocked them through simple body weight strength mastery, just doing lots of pull-ups, lots of dips, lots of Australian rows, lots of push-ups, the tuck lever. Other very basic yet super important strength calisthenics exercises is how you're going to unlock a lot of calisthenics skills. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments. And yeah, I'll see you next week.